everybody, my name is Jennifer Peters and this is another week of the Real Women of Philadelphia contest, and we're working on entrees. We are going to be making something so rich and so fabulous you will be sure to please all of your guests with this beautiful dish. Today we are making chicken and cremini manicotti with a walnut sage sauce. It is going to be decadent and beautiful, and I know you're going to love it. So first up, what we're actually going to do is we're going to head outside because I'm going to pick up some of my fresh sage from my little herb garden. So this is what I've been working on actually this last week, is planting all of my herbs. I planted so many though that I couldn't even fit them all into my little planter here. So I have some right down here, a great little bundle of herbs, and I'm going to be snipping a good handful of my fresh sage leaves, and this is going to be perfect in my sauce. So first up, we're going to be starting on the filling to go inside our nice stuffed manicotti shells. I have chosen some cremini mushrooms. So if you don't know what a cremini mushroom is, it's like a little brown mushroom just like that. A really nice mushroom. It's nice and firm. So we're going to be cooking those down. First up, I'm adding 2 garlic cloves that I've chopped. I'm going to cook those in. About 2 tablespoons of oil, and then I'm going to be adding my sliced cremini mushrooms. And I'm just going to be sauteing these until they're all cooked through. Now my mushrooms are cooking down really nicely, and for the last couple minutes of cooking time, I'm going to add 3 green onions that I've chopped and my sage leaves. So I have about 2 tablespoons of sage leaves that I just picked, and I'll stir those in and let that just come together on my stove. Next up, I'm going to be making a bechamel sauce, which is a really nice cream sauce that's going to be poured over our manicotti. So I have about 4 tablespoons of butter that I've melted down, along with 3 tablespoons of grated onions. So that's going to give our bechamel sauce a really nice flavor. And now I'm just going to be making my roux with 3 tablespoons of flour. So I'm going to stir this in until a nice golden brown paste forms. Now to my roux, I'm adding 1 cup of chicken broth, slowly stirring it in so I have a nice smooth consistency form. And then I'm going to do the same with 2 cups of milk. Now that I have my liquid combined, I am adding 4 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese to my mixture, and I'm going to let that melt throughout. That's going to be a really nice addition to my sauce here and make it really creamy and rich. And I'm also going to season it with a pinch of nutmeg and about another 2 tablespoons of my sage leaves. Really nice. And I'm just going to stir that until I have my desired consistency. I don't want it too thick, but at the same time you don't want it too runny. So just keep on stirring until you have it just right. Okay, now to combine my chicken and cremini filling. First up, I'm taking 1 tub, or 500 grams of ricotta cheese. I put that into my bowl, and I'm going to cream this together with another 4 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese until this is nicely mixed together. And now it's just a matter of adding the remainder of my ingredients, which is a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and an egg. I'm going to stir that in. Now I have 2 chicken breasts already cooked that I've cut quite small. So if you're in a pinch for time, you can buy your chicken breasts already cooked from your deli at your grocery store, or maybe you have some leftover chicken in your fridge. Maybe you're meal planning and you know that you're going to be making manicotti this week, so you could have some chicken already ready to go in your fridge. And then my beautiful mushroom mixture that came together really nicely. That sage and those cremini mushrooms, that's just great. Alright, and I'm going to give this a good stir until it all comes together. Okay, so now I have my filling all done. I have my bechamel sauce completed. Both look absolutely amazing. And today I'm using fresh pasta sheets as opposed to the manicotti shells. I always really prefer fresh pasta, and it kind of saves you a step from cooking the manicotti shells. So what I'm doing is cutting these in half to eventually come out with 10 or 12 sheets to fill our chicken and mushroom mixture with. So I'm going to make sure that each one is a great size, nice and full. Fill it up really good. I'm going to just roll it just like that. Those are going to be super. Okay, now to the bottom of my baking pan, I want to put just a small layer of my cream sauce down just to make sure that my manicotti isn't going to stick here. So, just a thin layer, and then I can start laying my manicotti in. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this over and fill up my pan. So I wanted to share with you today my latest kitchen accessory, which is my new apron here. I got this apron from my best and dearest friend, Mary Ellen, and this past year she moved up way to northern BC, and I actually had the pleasure of visiting her this past winter, and I have to say, although very cold up there in northern British Columbia, it was beautiful and we had a great time. Mary Ellen and I share many fond memories of cooking in the kitchen together. We've done some catering events and co-hosted many dinner parties. Lots of great memories, and I miss her dearly. So I made sure that she was going to go out and get herself the very same apron so we can kind of feel like we're still cooking together in the kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to finish filling up my 12 manicotti, and then I'll show you when I'm all done. Okay, so now that I have them all filled up, I actually only ended up making 10 manicotti, only because I was stuffing them so full. So between 10 and 12, this will probably make. Now I have already toasted some walnuts here in about a tablespoon of butter. You can absolutely toast them without butter also, but I really like the texture that it makes really good and crunchy. I'm going to take about half a cup's worth and put them straight into my sauce here. Mix that into the remainder of my sauce and pour that right over. Now I'm reserving the rest of my walnuts here for garnish for when it's all done and fresh out of the oven. Okay, so making sure that all of our manicotti are nice and covered. This is going to go into the oven between 30 and 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Alright, after about 35 minutes, my manicotti is out of the oven and looks absolutely beautiful, and it smells so good in here. I wish you were here to see how great this is. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I have a few toppings that I'd like to put on and show you that you can serve this manicotti with. What I've done is made a balsamic reduction. Now, in one of my prior recipes that I'd shared with the ladies of Philadelphia, I have made a balsamic reduction, and what it is about half a cup of balsamic vinegar on the stove, brought to a boil and then down to a simmer. I just let that cook off and let that steam evaporate from it, and it should come down to about half the amount that you started with, so maybe about a quarter cup then. A teaspoon of honey added to that will just sweeten it ever so slightly, and that makes a balsamic reduction. Now this balsamic reduction is a really nice complement to this dish. Really nice. And again, with our reserved toasted walnuts to add on top, and then of course garnished with a little bit of extra of that sage. This looks absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful dish, a great presentation, and believe me, so tasty. I'll take a quick bite just to let you know how good it is, because I know you're going to want to try this at home. Creamy and tasty and perfectly satisfying. I hope you give this one a try, because it is a pleaser for sure. Alright everybody, I'm going to dedicate this recipe to my best friend Mary Ellen up in Smithers, British Columbia. This one's for you, honey. I love you so much, and Real Women of Philadelphia, I hope you enjoy this. Thanks everybody, bye-bye.